So we got cut off again. Sorry about that. So I wrote the multiplicative inverse of my coefficient, which is 5 over negative 3, because I flipped this fraction. Then I wrote it 2 times, 1 across the bridge. Here is my bridge, okay? And then we crossed this one out because the multiplicative inverse times the coefficient gives me 1. I brought down the s. The s does not go in the box, okay? And then I solved this, okay? So negative divided by negative is a positive. 3 goes into 144 how many times? 4, because it will give me 12. And then 24, that will be 8. So 48 times 5 is 240. Then I did my check. I wrote my question back. I put my variable in bracket. I replaced my variable with the answer I got from step 1. So then I did negative 3 out of 5 times 240, and I got 144. So negative 3, what am I doing? Negative 3 out of 5 negative 3 out of 5 times negative 3 out of 5 times 240 times 240, okay? Negative 144. My left looks like my right, then I know I am correct, okay? All right, so now here we have what? Mixed numbers. So you should know this from grade 8, how to change your mixed numbers to improper fraction. 3 times 2 plus 2. 3 times you multiply and then you add. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. So your question becomes 8 out of 3m, and you do the same here. 18 times 4 should be 72. So 18 times 4, that should be 72 plus 1, 73. So 73 over 4, okay? Then you draw your bridge. This is your coefficient, so you write the multiplicative inverse, 3 out of 8 times, and then you write it over here, 3 out of 8 times. Then you write your question, 8 out of 3m, and 73 out of 4. Then you multiply this side, and you cross it because you're going to get 1. You're left with m. M equals, then you need to do this, okay? So that is 3 out of 8, and then you multiply with 73 out of 4. 73 out of 4. And then you get, what is the answer? You got 219 out of 32. So 219 out of 32. Then you have to change this to a mixed number. So you will write m equals 32. So that will be, how do I change that? Shift, and I press the SD, and there I get 6 and 27 out of 32, and I box my answer. Sorry, my box has to go down. Box my answer. And then I do what? I do my check. So when I do my check, I put this in replace of m, but I will use here. So I will write 8 out of 3 m in bracket equals to 73 out of 4. 8 out of 3 multiply, I want to use 219 over 32 equals to 73 over 4. You can put this or this. It doesn't matter when you're checking. Okay? So then I will do 8 out of 3. I'm going to multiply with 219 out of 32. And I got 73 out of 4. So 73 out of 4 equals to 73 out of 4, and my answer is correct. Then you repeat the same process. Change this to, you change that to a multiplicative, you change that to an improper fraction. So 150 times 6 is 900. 900 plus 1 is 901 out of 6 equals 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 out of 3e. And then I draw my bridge. Then I write my multiplicative inverse of my coefficient, which is 3 out of 13. And then I multiply. And the same thing over here. 3 out of 13. And then I multiply. Then I write my question. 901 out of 6. 13 out of 3e. This goes away. And that becomes e. Then I need to do that. Okay? So 901 out of 6 multiply by 3 out of 13. Okay, and I got 901 out of 26. So this becomes 901 out of 26. Okay, I have to change it to a mixed number. Shift SD, and I get 34 and 17 out of 26 equals E. And this is my answer. Where is my space for checking? Okay, I will check over here. Okay, check. So I come over here. 901 over 6 equals to 13 over 6e. My variable goes in a bracket. 901 over 6 equals 13 over 6 multiplied by 9 over 1 over 26. Okay? Now, 9 over 1, so 901 over 26 times 13 over, okay, 13 over 26 times 901 over 26. I got 901 over what? Oh, this is 13 over 3, not 13 over 6, sorry. 13 over 3. You see, I saw my answer was not correct. I went back to check where I went wrong. So 13 over 3, this is 13 over 3. So now I have to change my answer. I go back here. And then I delete. I write 3. And I get 901 over 6. So it's the same. 901 over 6 equals to 901 over 6. If you see your two sides don't look the same, you check where you went wrong. You start from the question, coming down. Okay? All right. Do this by yourselves. and then we will catch up with them in class. We'll do this by yourselves, and then we'll start with this in class, okay? Now let us do here, solve equations with decimal coefficients. The same thing, my coefficient, my variable. I draw my bridge, okay? So here I will write my coefficient over itself. So I'm dividing on both sides, and 1.69 divided by the coefficient. This goes away. And then I do 1.69 divide 1.3, and I get 1.3. So Z equals to 1.3. That's the answer. And then I do my check. So I will do 1.69 equals to 1.3, and then I put my variable in bracket. So 1.69 is 1.3 times 1.3. And if I do that in the calculator, I should be able to do that. 1.3 times 0.3, and I got 1.69. 1.69, 1.69, and I check my answer. Notice, I don't just write, I have to check on by multiplying. Okay? All right. Here is my question. So I divide both sides by my coefficient because I'm multiplying here. The opposite of multiply is divide. So I write negative 54 hundredths divided by negative 54 hundredths with my variable is equal to 6 and 48 hundredths divided by negative 54 hundredths. This and this goes away because it becomes 1. M equals, then I do 6.48 divide negative 0.54, and I get 12. M is 12. So this is my answer. Please don't forget to put your bridge. Your bridge should be there, so you don't forget it. Your bridge should be there. The reason why you put your bridge is to remember to put your numbers on both sides of your bridge. All right, then you do the check. And what is your check? Negative 0.54 brackets M equals to 6.48. Negative 0.54 brackets, and you put the 12 equals to 6.48. Then you do it over here. 0.54 should be negative. And you multiply. What do you get? You multiply by 12. SD. You get the same, sorry, this should be negative 12. Because a positive divided a negative is a negative. So here is negative 12, and a negative times a negative is a positive. So you should get 6.48 equals to 6.48, and you check. All right, complete these two. We will start there tomorrow in class. Okay? So you do this, and you do your examples. You do your examples, A, B, C, D, and then you have E, A, B, C, D. Then why did I repeat D again? Okay, so you have A, B, C, D, then you have this D again here. D, E, F, okay? And then you have G, H, I. They're on page 113, 112. Okay? All right. See you on Sunday.